What's going on, guys? Welcome to Wicked and Wild, where we cover all types of true crime, whether solved or unsolved, terrifying and tragic, or just plain wicked and wild. I'm your host, Tyler, here to give you exactly what you came for. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Today's case brings us to the beautiful United Kingdom, where we meet a serious up-and-coming force in the social media space. This up-and-coming force would be a girl who truly seemed to have it all. The lifestyle, the money, the fame. But what happens when a girl like this, a true up-and-coming force, encounters a roadblock that truly threatens everything that she's worked for? Today we get to take a look at what happens when someone is willing to do anything to keep their dirty laundry behind closed doors. This is the case of Mahek Bukhari. Mahek Bukhari, a British national of Pakistani descent, was born in England, UK in 1999. While her exact date of birth remains undisclosed, she is currently 23 years old during the making of this video. Not much is known about her early life, but her popular videos flaunting designer clothes and items suggest a privileged upbringing. Mahek resides in Tunstall, Stoke-on-Trent, United Kingdom, with her family, including her brother, whose name I couldn't find, her mother, Ansreen Bukhari, who serves as a managing director at City Security Plus, and her father, Ali Raza Bukhari. Mahek embarked on an educational journey that began in a private school and eventually led her to a prestigious university. Armed with dedication and a flair for fashion, she successfully earned her bachelor's degree in the field she loves the most: fashion. In the pursuit of a healthy and fabulous life, Mahek became the reigning champion of avoiding unhealthy food, mastering the art of staying active in her free time, and religiously visiting the gym. Having a true embodiment of style and health, Mahek's life was a delightful mix of fashion-forward choices and fitness pursuits. Living in the era of social media has opened up endless opportunities for people to capitalize on its benefits. From making friends, learning new things, to seeking entertainment, the digital realm has something for everyone. And hey, some even hit the jackpot. Mahek is the epitome of a social media persona. Rocking it as a TikTok and Instagram influencer, her content revolves around fashion, makeup, and the fabulous lifestyle every woman dreams of. With a whopping 130,000 followers on TikTok, 45,000 on Instagram, and over 4,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel, it's safe to say she's got an enthusiastic fan base. Did I mention she's a digital sensation too? Brace yourself for this mind-blowing stat. Her TikTok videos have gained a staggering 3.3 million likes. Now, when you hear the term net worth, you might think of stacks of cash. But in Mahek's case, it's more like net worth watching, because her vlogs are estimated to be worth a cool $250,000 as of May 2023. Mahek and her mother share a unique best friend kind of bond, teaming up to create hilarious TikTok videos and trendy content together, making this dynamic duo a very loyal fan base. Now here's when things take a wild turn. Sometime around 2019, Ansreen, a then 45-year-old married woman with kids, and one of those kids being Mahek, found herself entangled in a 3-year affair with a then 18-year-old named Saqib Hussain, who told the married mother of two that he was actually 27 after meeting on a dating app. Now, Ansreen knew that this affair couldn't last forever, and in January 2022, Ansreen made a bold move and decided to put an end to their whirlwind romance. But Saqib couldn't handle the heartbreak and passionately expressed his love for Ansreen, lovingly calling her Anzie. He went all in, begging her to reconsider their affair, confessing that what he started as a bit of fun had actually turned into true love. And in the course of their 3-year relationship, Saqib spared no expense, lavishing Ansreen with extravagant outings to hotels and fancy restaurants, adding up to around £2,000 to £3,000. You see, underneath the facade of a young man deeply in love with 45-year-old Ansreen, Saqib had a rather bizarre hobby. This hobby would be recording sexually explicit photos and videos with Ansreen. And to everyone's astonishment, these private moments somehow found their way onto his Instagram account. After Ansreen stood firm to call it quits with Saqib, things took a desperate turn. In a frenzy of emotion, Saqib bombarded her with 1,702 phone calls, each lasting a mere 5 seconds or less in just a couple months. On the other hand, Ansreen made around 200 calls, but only a handful lasting over 3 minutes. It's clear they had a serious communication conundrum. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more absurd, frustrated by Ansreen's unresponsiveness, Saqib resorted to a somewhat misguided tactic to win her back. He attempted to blackmail her, threatening to expose the explicit videos to Ansreen's husband and son, unless she gave in and returned his phone calls. In a rather intense and alarming situation, Saqib threatened Ansreen, declaring, "I'll make all your pics and videos go viral right now." Now, Mahek, being the savvy social media influencer she is, couldn't help but be aware of her mother's controversial relationship with Saqib. While she definitely didn't approve, she attempted to tolerate the whole mess. But things were about to reach a boiling point for Ansreen. In the very beginning days of 2022, unable to bear the pressure any longer, Ansreen finally confided in Mahek about the blackmail ordeal. The revelation of those explicit materials posed a real danger, not only jeopardizing Ansreen's marriage, but also posing a real threat to Mahek's family dynamic and her own hard-earned reputation as a successful influencer in the digital world. And in Mahek's eyes, she didn't come this far for nothing. She wasn't about to lose her successful influencer career, especially not let someone take from her. Faced with such a precarious situation, Mahek mustered up her strength and replied with a glimmer of determination to her mother, "I'll soon get him jumped by guys, and he won't know what day it is." And she was determined to follow through with her plans. In a brilliant stroke of cunning, Mahek decided to take matters into her own hands and devise a trap for her mother's younger ex-lover, Saqib. She cleverly convinced him not to release the explicit videos and pictures, instead offering him a juicy sum of 3K pounds in return. But the real twist has yet to come. Mahek slyly informed Saqib that the rendezvous point for this exchange would be the parking lot of a Tesco in Hamilton, Leicester. Mahek's plan included a contingency strategy, just in case Saqib decided to play hardball. She slightly hinted that if he refused to hand over his phone, things might get a little unpleasant for him. And by unpleasant, she meant a serious injury, or, in a rather dramatic turn of phrase, silence him forever. Saqib's sister, Sana Hussein, knew about her brother's affair with this married mother of two, and ever the wise sibling, she advised her brother to steer clear of any involvement with a married woman. Little did she know that her words of caution would come back to haunt them all in the most horrific way. When Saqib shared his meetup plan with Sana, she couldn't help but express her concerns about the potential dangers lurking in such a meetup, but Saqib chose not to take her advice. But unfortunately, this situation would escalate even further, involving an innocent bystander, Saqib's cousin. Meet Muhammad Hashim Hazadin, the 21-year-old from Banbury in Oxfordshire, who also happened to be Saqib's cousin and best buddy. It was a fateful day, early on February 11, 2022, when Hazadin took the wheel of his trusty silver Skoda Fabia to join his friend on this meeting. When they arrived at their destination, Hamilton Tesco Car Park in Leicester, they were set to meet none other than Ansreen. But little did they know that as soon as they pulled in, all eyes from Mahek's and Ansreen's gang would be waiting for their time to pounce. As soon as they arrived at the car park, their keen eyes spotted not one, but 2 cars, occupied by mysterious figures wearing masks. Now, that being enough to make anyone suspicious, and deciding to not stick around for any potential drama, they quickly peeled out, speeding off onto the A46. Their instincts proved quickly to be spot on when those 2 mysterious cars soon followed suit, embarking on a wild chase that would last well over 10 minutes. Amidst this high-octane pursuit, Mahek and Saqib found themselves engaged in a phone conversation that took an unexpected turn, and with a hint of mischief in her voice, Mahek yelled, "Watch what I do to you." As the adrenaline-fueled chase escalated, Saqib's panic skyrocketed, leading him to make a frantic call to 999. When on the line with Leicestershire police, he spilled out the chilling details of his predicament, panically yelling, "I'm being followed by 2 vehicles. They're trying to block me in. They've got ski masks on. They're trying to ram me off the road. They're trying to kill me. I'm going to die." Desperate for help, Saqib explained that he had simply come to Leicester to visit a friend at university when this hair-raising ordeal began. And then, the most heart-pounding moment of all, Saqib's terrifying scream echoed through the phone, followed by the bone-chilling sound of a crash before the call abruptly ended. In the early hours of February 11, 2022, around 1:30 a.m., tragedy struck on the 846 dual carriageway. Rammed while doing somewhere around 100 miles per hour, the Skoda Fabia careened into the central reservation, colliding with a tree and causing the vehicle to split into two, with the car bursting into flames after being forcefully rammed off the road. The impact of this collision was devastating, claiming the lives of both Hazaddin and Saqib in an instant, their identities later confirmed through dental records. As the first police officer, PC Joseph Radding, arrived at the crash site, he was met with unsettling sounds of popping and banging emanating from the wreckage. Debris scattered around the scene and flames erupting from the vehicle made it abundantly clear that there was no chance of survival for the unfortunate passengers. A haunting sight awaited them, with one body seen hanging out of the remnants of the passenger seat, a stark reminder of the tragedy that had just unfolded. While the rescuers' hearts went out to those trapped inside the burning vehicle, the intense heat and raging flames made any attempt to save them utterly impossible. Around 4 hours before the tragic crash that shook everyone's world, Saqib reached out to Mahek, desperately seeking to speak with Ansreen. But with her firm refusal, Saqib resorted to a rather bold move, threatening to message her dad and reveal all the proof about her mother, from pictures to messages showcasing their secret love affair. As the police dove into the investigation, they had no doubt that Saqib and Hazaddin's deaths were no mere accident. The key clue lay in the chilling call Saqib made to 999, where he fearfully explained the perilous situation he found himself in. It was a clear indicator that something much more sinister was going on, and there was more to this tragic tale than meet the eye. To piece together the puzzle, the police turned to CCTV evidence, the footage revealing the two elusive cars that Saqib had frantically mentioned in his distress phone call to 999. With the joint efforts of various police forces, they successfully tracked down the Audi TT in St. Leon involved in the accident. In a rather prompt move, just 8 hours after the horrifying crash, investigators arrived at Mahek and Ansreen's residence for a thorough investigation. It turns out that the Audi TT was actually rented at the time by none other than Mahek, since her own car was stuck at the repair shop at the time. As the police were busy questioning Mahek's brother about the rented car, Mahek herself was caught in a rather intriguing situation. She engaged in a mysterious 14-minute call with Reese Jamal, one of the people linked to the crash. In an attempt to dodge the truth, Mahek allegedly spun a web of lies to mislead the investigators. She crafted a story, claiming that she and her mother were initially heading to Nottingham, but somehow ended up near the accident site in Leicester purely by accident. When questioned about Saqib, Mahek came up with an interesting twist, claiming she knew him but that he had been harassing her, in a "it's not what it seems" move. However, she conveniently left out any mention of her mother's affair with Saqib, opting to present a seemingly innocent encounter with him, believing he was just a nice man. During the investigation, Mahek presented her side of the story, claiming that Saqib had resorted to spreading fake pictures of her and her mother, demanding a hefty sum of £2,000 to £3,000 to halt his harassment. Not only that, but she added that Saqib had gone to the extreme of threatening harm to her father and her brother. According to her account, she planned to meet Saqib at the Tesco store, but he didn't bother showing up. As they drove up the 846, a blue car came into the picture, engaging with a silver car. Little did Mahek know that Saqib was inside the silver car, and she couldn't make out the driver of the blue car. However, Mahek insisted that she and her mother had no knowledge of Saqib's presence in the silver car when they passed by. She further claimed that it was only later, when they came across the crash scene with the silver car engulfed in flames, that she broke down in tears at the tragic sight. But when police moved in to make the arrest, they weren't going to let any stone go unturned. They requested Mahek to hand over her phone and the code to unlock it. But naturally, she gave them a wrong code, fearing that her involvement might come to light. And so, the tangled web of lies continued to unravel, with Mahek trying to maintain her cool facade while the detectives followed every lead to get to the truth. In a surprising turn of events, the St. Leon vehicle proved to be the key that unlocked the truth, leading the police to a total of 6 other individuals who were involved in the crash. The suspects apprehended were Natasha Akhtar, a 22-year-old who owned the St. Leon, along with Raish Jamal, age 22, Rakan Karwan, age 28, Muhammad Patel, age 20, Sanaf Kula Mustafa, age 22, and Amir Jamal, age 27. Rakan Karwan was the one at the wheel of the Audi TT, with Mahek and Ensreen as passengers. In the other car, Raish Jamal took charge of the St. Leon, which ended up in a collision with the Skoda Fabia, with the rest of the group on board. In a courtroom spectacle, prosecutor Colin Wood Thompson KC took the stage, presenting a compelling case to the jury. All 8 individuals involved were charged equally with murder, with allegations pointing towards their intentions on that eventful night. All 8 individuals involved in the incident have come forward, admitting to being in one of the 2 cars that chased the Skoda Fabia that fateful night. However, it seems like they didn't have much wiggle room to tell their side of the story, as the prosecutor cunningly revealed that the data retrieved from their mobile phones provided reliable evidence of their involvement. Despite their confessions to being part of the chase, all 8 individuals have staunchly denied the charges of murder, and even offered an alternative count of manslaughter. According to the prosecutor, this crash was far from being just a simple road traffic accident. The CCTV footage of the scene clearly showed that after the collision, they nonchalantly pulled over to inspect the damage to the St. Leon. And what do you know? One of them even had a mask on, just as Saqib had mentioned to the operator during that unforgettable 999 call. The Audi TT in St. Leon, whisked away by the police for some forensic examination, revealed some compelling evidence. While the Audi TT had no serious damage to show, the St. Leon sported significant front-end damage, hinting at a collision with a speed of over 80 miles per hour against the rear of the Skoda Fabia. The sophisticated tracking computer on the Audi TT provided the police with a treasure trove of data. They knew exactly where the car had been and how fast it was zooming at all points during that thrilling chase. As the investigation continued, the cameras on the M6 played their part in the unfolding drama. They caught Akhtar's Leon's number plate on the surveillance camera, leading to her arrest when she unsuspectingly pulled into a petrol station near Junction 5 of the motorway. On the other side of this complicated affair, Mahek Bukhari's husband, Ali Raza, seemed to be blissfully unaware of his wife's secret affair for the past 3 years with Saqib. Ali Raza Bukhari recalled an amusing incident from a few months before February. He received a comment on his TikTok account from someone named Saqib, hinting at his wife's affair. Ali Raza, thinking it was just an internet troll, decided not to share it with Ensreen and never brought it up. Now, with this case so fresh, the trial is still ongoing, and the jury is working tirelessly to deliberate on the complex details. They once huddled for about 90 minutes on a Friday, but it seems like the mysteries of this case are not to be easily unraveled. But the anticipation builds as they prepare to resume discussions on Monday, July 31st. Now, with deliberations still ongoing, it's anyone's call as to what's going to happen. The evidence seems pretty stacked against Ensreen, Mahek, and their gang of thugs. And truthfully, 2 people lost their lives, and really it was over stupid drama. Saqib shouldn't have been doing what he was doing and falling in love with a 45-year-old, especially at the time when he was 21, at the end of this 3-year affair. He should have learned that there's more fish in the sea. Granted, it shouldn't have costed his life either. With that being said, when the jury deliberation is over and the verdict is read and sentencing is done, I will give you guys an update. Overall, I believe Mahek didn't do this really for her mother's sake, but ultimately because she was in love with her lifestyle. She knew what she was worth, what her social media was worth, and she wasn't gonna have a blemish on her record. But I hope you guys liked the video as always. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out so much. I'm sorry for the huge delay in between my last video and this video. I usually don't share my personal information, but I bought a house. The closing was last week, and I've just been incredibly busy with that. I've been up for like 2 weeks straight, just, working on the house, getting it ready to move in, and that's my excuse. But please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel out so much. I hope to do this full time one day, and yeah, I just really want your guys' feedback. So I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you guys next week for the next one.